Have you ever felt that voice inside? Like a whisper that won't quit, telling you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not brave enough to even try? Maybe it's the fear of failing at that job, the dread of speaking up, or the quiet panic that keeps you frozen, self-doubt creeping in, choking your dreams before they can breathe. If that shadow's holding you back, stop right here. This isn't just a video. It's your lifeline. You're not alone in that dark, and you don't have to stay there. Today, I'm giving you 5 simple, soul-shaking steps to break through self-doubt and step into the light, backed by stories of women who've stood in that same abyss, shaking, scared, silenced, until they found the courage to roar, "I've got this." At Hope4Her, we're not here to sugarcoat your fears. We're here to shatter them, to walk you out of that darkness into the power you've always had. Imagine this: the shadows fade, your voice steadies, and you stride forward, not just hoping, but knowing you're enough, unstoppable, unshakable. That's not a distant wish, it's your strength waking up. Stay with me, because self-doubt isn't your truth, it's your battle, and you're about to win it. But first, let's rip this open. Here's the raw, unfiltered truth. Over 80% of women say self-doubt has stopped them cold at least once. 8 out of 10, paralyzed by that inner scream of, "I can't, I'll fail, I'm not enough." That's not just a number, it's a silent war raging in minds and hearts across America right now. It's the woman who didn't apply for the promotion, the artist who hid her work, the mom who doubts every choice, self-doubt stealing their voices, their chances, their light. And here's the shock that'll jolt you awake. Even the women you look up to, the ones who shine brightest, have been gripped by that same fear, their hands trembling, their hearts racing, thinking, "What if I fall?" But they didn't just survive it, they smashed through it, not with magic or perfection, but with real, gritty steps that turned their "I can't" into "I will." These aren't polished fairy tales. They're raw, tear-stained stories of women who faced the dark and walked out stronger. If they can overcome self-doubt in a world that thrives on tearing us down, then you, yes, you can too. We're about to step into their battles, not to scare you, but to arm you. Self-doubt isn't your fate, it's your fight, and you've got this. Let's dig deeper into why this matters for you right here in the US in 2025. Self-doubt isn't just a personal problem, it's a cultural epidemic. According to a 2023 survey by the American Psychological Association, over 60% of American women reported feeling inadequate at work due to imposter syndrome, a staggering number that's only grown as workplace competition heats up. Think about it. In cities like New York, Los Angeles, or even smaller towns in Texas or Ohio, women are juggling rising costs of living, student debt, and the pressure to have it all. That voice saying, "You're not enough," isn't just in your head, it's amplified by a society obsessed with Instagram perfection and hustle culture. Ever scroll through social media and feel like everyone's winning except you? That's self-doubt's fuel, and it's burning through American women at an alarming rate. But here's the kicker. It's not just women. Men feel it too. Yet studies, like one from the National Institute of Mental Health, show women are twice as likely to internalize it, letting it stop them from chasing dreams. Why? We're taught to play it safe, to avoid rocking the boat. Think of the single mom in Chicago who hesitates to start her own business because, what if it flops? Or the college grad in Florida who skips a job interview because she's sure she'll bomb it. These aren't hypotheticals, they're real stories I've heard from women across the states, from coffee shops in Seattle to subway rides in DC. Self-doubt is a thief, and it's hitting American women hardest where it counts. Opportunity. Now, let's talk solutions, because this isn't about despair, it's about action. In the US, we've got resources at our fingertips that can turn this around. Community colleges offer free career workshops. Places like Miami-Dade College or Austin Community College host sessions on resume building and confidence every month. Online, platforms like LinkedIn Learning give you courses on overcoming imposter syndrome for less than $20 a month, cheaper than a Starbucks run. Even local libraries from Portland to Philly have self-help books and free Wi-Fi to research your next step. These tools exist, but self-doubt keeps us from using them. Imagine if that Chicago mom took a free small business class, or that Florida grad practiced her interview with a friend. Small moves, big wins. And here's where it gets personal. You're not alone in this fight. In 2024, movements like Me Too and Women in STEM gained traction, showing American women banding together to lift each other up. Look at cities like Atlanta, women's networking. Groups there meet weekly, swapping stories of failure and success over coffee or Zoom. These aren't fancy events. They're real, gritty, and open to anyone. You can find them on meetup.com or even Facebook groups. Just search Women's Empowerment and your city. The point? Self-doubt thrives in isolation, but it crumbles when you connect. So yes, 80% of us have felt stuck, but the other 20%? They're the ones who fought back, and they're waiting to show you how. This isn't about overnight miracles. It's about waking up to the fact that self-doubt isn't unique to you. It's a shared American struggle, especially now, with economic uncertainty and a post-pandemic world pushing us to our limits. But it's also a shared American strength. We're resilient. From the women who rebuilt after the 2008 crash to the entrepreneurs thriving in 2025's gig economy, we've got proof it's possible. Their stories aren't just inspiration, they're your roadmap. So buckle up. We're diving into 5 steps that real women use to break free, and they're steps you can take today, right where you stand, in your own messy, beautiful life. Overcoming self-doubt. You've got this. Step 1. Face the shadow. Name your fear. Step 1 cracks the cage. Face the shadow. Self-doubt thrives in silence. Name your fear, and it starts to lose its grip. It's not about ignoring it, it's about staring it down until it blinks. Real story. J.K. Rowling. K. Rowling knows shadows. Divorced, broke, a single mom on welfare. She drowned in self-doubt. She said, "I doubted I'd ever be anything." Fear of failure loomed. What if I'm no good? She hid it, let it fester until it nearly stopped her. Then she faced it, named it. "I'm scared I'll fail as a writer." She wrote that fear down, raw and jagged, looked at it and said, "I'll try anyway." That naming didn't erase the dark. It lit a spark. She wrote Harry Potter. Rejection after rejection. 12 no's, until one yes turned her into a billionaire. Today she's a legend because she faced the shadow, not because it vanished. Your fear? It's not your master. It's your mirror. For Americans, this step is gold. Rowling's story resonates here because the U.S. loves a comeback. Think of the American dream where grit beats odds. She was on welfare, like 1 in 8 Americans at some point, per 2023 census data. Her fear of failure? It's the same one haunting millions. 40% of U.S. adults say they've skipped opportunities due to doubt, according to a Gallup poll. Maybe you're in California, scared to pitch a startup, or in Michigan, afraid to switch careers. Naming it works because it's the first step to owning it. Rowling didn't have a fancy degree or rich parents. She had a pen and a fear she refused to let win. How does this apply to you? Start small. In the U.S., we're surrounded by tools to face fears. Grab a $1 notebook from Dollar Tree, write, "I'm scared I'll fail at my job," or "I'm afraid I'm not a good parent." Say it out loud in your car, your kitchen, wherever you're safe. Studies from UCLA show verbalizing fear cuts its power by 30%. It's science, not magic. Or text a friend, "Hey, I'm freaking out about this presentation." In cities like Denver or Raleigh, people do this daily, sharing fears over beers or FaceTime. It's not weak, it's brave. Take Rowling's rejection. 12 publishers said no. In the US, that's normal. Job hunters face 20 rejections on average, per Indeed. She kept going because she named her fear, saw it wasn't her, and moved anyway. You can too. Maybe it's applying for that promotion in Seattle or asking for a raise in Houston. Write it. "I'm scared they'll laugh." Then look at it, say, "That's not me." Feel that shake? That's your spark. Rowling's spark built Hogwarts. Yours could build your future. Practical tip. Set a timer. 5 minutes. Sit with your fear. Ask, What's the worst that'll happen? If you bomb that interview, you'll still eat dinner tonight. If you flop that Etsy shop, you'll learn something. In the US, failure's not fatal. Look at Silicon Valley, where 90% of startups tank, yet the survivors change the world. Rowling's 12 no's didn't kill her, they sharpened her. Name your fear today, right now, and watch it shrink. How to do it. Sit still. Feel the doubt. What's it saying? I'll fail? I'm not enough? Say it out loud. I'm scared of this. Write it. My fear is... Don't soften it, look at it. You're not me. Feel the tremble? That's courage waking. Tell one person, I doubt this. You're not hiding, you're stepping through. Step 2, silence the whisper. You're louder than me. Doubt. Step 2, turns up your voice, silence the whisper. That you can't in your head? Drown it with your own roar. You're louder, stronger, fiercer. Real story. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga heard whispers. Assault at 19 left her doubting her worth, her voice. She said, I doubted I'd ever shine. The music world judged, too weird, too broken. She nearly quit, but she silenced it, sang, louder, I'm enough. Born This Way wasn't their tune, it was hers, raw, defiant. She roared past doubt, won Grammys because she outshouted it. Today she's a force because her voice won. Your whisper? It's not your truth, it's your challenge. Gaga's story hits home for Americans because she's a New Yorker who turned pain into power, something we celebrate coast to coast. Assault survivors in the US, 1 in 6 women per reign, know that whisper of worthlessness. Gaga faced it in a cutthroat industry, like countless Americans battling judgment at work or school. Heard too weird label? It's the artist in LA told her style's too out there, or the teacher in Boston called too loud. She didn't shrink, she shouted. In 2025, with mental health talks booming, her defiance is a blueprint. How do you roar? Gaga sang, literally. You don't need a mic. In the US, we've got spaces to get loud. Join a karaoke night in Nashville, belt out Sweet Caroline and feel your voice rise. Or scream in your backyard in Oregon. Neighbors might stare, but who cares? Research from Harvard says raising your voice boosts adrenaline, killing doubt fast. Gaga wrote Born This Way in 10 minutes, raw and real. Grab your phone, record a I can do this rant. Play it back. That's you. Louder than the whisper. She faced rejection too. Labels said no until one didn't. In the US, rejection's everywhere. 70% of auditions flop, per SAG-AFTRA. Gaga kept singing because she believed her voice mattered. You can, too. Maybe it's telling your boss in Atlanta, I deserve more, or pitching that idea in Minneapolis. Shout it, I'm worth it. Doubt hates noise. It'll back off. Gaga's Grammys came from that roar. Your wins will too. Try this. Next time doubt whispers, laugh at it. Loudly. In Walmart. In traffic. Wherever. Americans love a good laugh. It's why comedy clubs thrive from Vegas to Maine. Gaga laughed at her critics by being herself, unapologetic. You're not too much. You're a storm, and storms don't whisper. How to do it? Hear the doubt. I can't. Shout back. I can. Write. I'm louder than this. Say it. 5 times loud. Sing, scream, laugh, drown it. You're not small, you're a storm. Step 3. Take one step. Action breaks. Fear. Step 3 moves you. Take one step. Doubt freezes. Action cracks it. You don't need the whole map. Just one brave move. Real story. Serena Williams. Serena Williams doubted her return. Childbirth nearly killed her. Self-doubt said, "You're done." She feared failure. What if I can't? But she stepped. Started with one stretch, one swing. She said, I took it one day. That step broke the fear. Grand slams followed. Today, she's a titan because she moved. Your step? It's not too late. It's your break. Serena's American to the core, a Compton kid who conquered the world. Her comeback screams U.S. grit. 1 in 3 moms here face postpartum struggles per CDC, and many doubt they'll bounce back. Serena did, in a country where sports are life. Think Super Bowl Sundays or March Madness. She feared her body wouldn't Hold up. Same as the nurse in Philly worried she's too old to switch shifts, or the barista in Boise scared to launch a side hustle. Action broke her freeze, and it can break yours. What's your step? In the US, opportunities are everywhere. Sign up for a $10 gym class in Dallas. Serena started with stretches, you can too. Or apply for that job on Indeed. Takes 5 minutes. A 2024 Bureau of Labor Statistics report says 60% of Americans switched jobs last year. Small steps paid off. Serena swung a racket. You can swing at something. Email a client. Post that TikTok. Doubt hates motion. She didn't leap, she crept. One practice, one match. In the US, we've got baby step hacks. Apps like TaskRabbit let you earn quick cash with 1 gig, building momentum. Or hit a library in Chicago. Free career books wait. Serena's Grand Slams didn't come day 1. They came step 1. Your step might be texting yes to a coffee date in Denver or fixing your resume in Miami. 5 minutes done. Fear shakes when you move. Serena's first swing post baby was shaky. Yours will be too. That's fine. In the US, we idolize doers. Think Shark Tank pitches bombing then booming. Her step cracked fear. Yours will too. Start today. Walk to your mailbox, call a friend, try something. You're not stuck, you're moving. How to do it. Pick one thing, apply, speak, try, do it. 5 minutes, right? I step today, feel the fear shake, that's it cracking. You're not stuck, you're moving. Step 4, claim your wins. Small sparks, ignite. Step 4, lifts your chin, claim your wins. Doubt blinds, shine light on your sparks, big or small. Real story, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama doubted herself, miscarriage, first lady pressure. She said, I felt I wasn't enough. But she claimed wins, small ones, a speech, a hug. She wrote, becoming, owned every step. Today, she's a beacon because she saw her light. Your wins? They're not nothing, they're everything. Michelle's Chicago roots make her American as apple pie. Her doubts? Universal here. 1 in 4 women face miscarriage per Mayo Clinic, and millions feel not enough under scrutiny. She faced it as First Lady, like the teacher in Tulsa scared she's failing students, or the nurse in Phoenix doubting her shifts. Claiming wins turned her spark into a flame. Same can happen for you. What's a win? In the US, it's everyday stuff. Woke up on time in Seattle? Win. Cooked dinner in Austin? Win. A 2023 APA study says celebrating small victories cuts stress by 25%. Michelle knew this. She hugged kids, gave speeches. Small sparks. You can too. Finished a report, called your mom, walked the dog. Write it. I did this. Doubt dims when you shine. She owned it in becoming. Sold 17 million copies because she saw her worth. In the US, we've got ways to track wins. Apps like Habitica make it fun. Or a $2 journal from Target works. Michelle's hug mattered. Your coffee run does too. Tell someone in NYC, I nailed that meeting. Watch your glow grow. Sparks. Stack up. Michelle's speeches led to movements. Your wins lead somewhere. In the US, 70% of side hustlers started small per Etsy data. Claim it. I tried. Doubt fades. You're winning, not failing. How to do it. List 3 wins. I woke up. I tried. Say, I did this. Write, my wins matter. Feel the glow? That's doubt fading. You're not failing, you're winning. Step 5, stand in light. You are enough. Step 5, sets you free. Stand in light. Doubt's dark. You're the sun enough right now, right? Real story. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey doubted her worth. Poverty, abuse scarred her. She feared, I'll never rise. But she stood, claimed her voice, her story. She said, I'm enough. Built an empire from that light. Today, she's unstoppable because she stood. Your light? It's not dim, it's blazing. Oprah's Mississippi to media mogul tale is peak American. Poverty hits 12% of US women, per census. Abuse, 1 in 4, per NCADV. She doubted, like the cashier in Omaha, scared she'll stay broke, or the student in Tucson fearing she's too damaged. Standing in light flipped her script. It can flip yours. How? Oprah spoke her truth, on air, to millions. In the US, you can too. Post "I'm enough" on X, takes 10 seconds. Or stand in your LA apartment, say it to the mirror. A 2024 Stanford study says self-affirmation boosts confidence 40%. Oprah lived it. Her empire started with one show. Your light starts with one moment. She stood through flops. Early shows tanked. In the US, failure's a badge. 50% of small businesses fold, per SBA, yet winners rise. Oprah said enough after every no. You can after a bad day in Dallas or a rejection in Detroit. Stand tall 5 minutes at a park, your porch. Feel it. Her light's unstoppable because she owned it. In the US, resources amplify this. Free TED Talks online, $5 yoga in Boise. Stand there. Oprah's billions came from standing. You'll shine too. You're not doubting. You're dazzling. How to do it? Stand tall. Say, "I've got this." Write, "I'm enough." Step out. 5 minutes. Feel it. You're not doubting. You're dazzling. Conclusion. Ask a question and urge action. 5 steps to overcome self-doubt. Face the shadow. Silence the whisper. Take 1 step. Claim your wins. Stand in light. JK, Gaga, Serena, Michelle, Oprah. They didn't let doubt define them. They broke it, stepped through it, owned their power. Doubt's not your destiny. It's your doorway. You're not here to shrink. You're here to shine, to rise, to roar. I've got this. Now my question. What's the one doubt holding you back right now? That fear that I can't. What is it? Name it below, let it out. Then act, today. Face it, shout it down, step forward, say, "I've got this." Feel the dark tremble? That's your light breaking free. Subscribe if you're ready to rise with us at Hope4Her. You're not less. What's your first step?